You're chilling on your couch, watching a reality TV show. A contestant struts onto the stage, oozing with confidence. They grab the mic and declare, "I'm going to be this year's champion." The crowd cheers. You lean in, and then they start to sing. The music is in one key. Their voice is in a completely different universe. They're screeching off key. Their voice cracks, but they're absolutely feeling it. Eyes closed, lost in their own passion. You glance at the judges. They're covering their faces. The audience has gone completely silent. And you, sitting safely at home, what do you feel? That weird, tingling sensation runs down your spine. Your shoulders tense up. You have to look away, maybe even cover your own face. You physically cringe, muttering, "Oh no. Oh please, make it stop." Why? That contestant has nothing to do with you. Your reputation isn't on the line, so why are you the one feeling the secondhand pain and embarrassment? That feeling, that embarrassment on behalf of someone else, is what we call cringe. And in today's video, we're going to decode exactly why your brain tortures you like this. Trust me, it's way more complicated than you think. So, cringe actually has a proper psychological name. Empathic embarrassment or vicarious embarrassment. It's defined as an indirect emotion. You didn't do anything wrong, but you absorbed the embarrassment that you believe the other person should be feeling, even if they don't seem to feel anything at all. And this right here is the key. The most painful, uncomfortably gut-wrenching cringe happens when we witness someone doing something completely ridiculous, failing spectacularly, all while being totally unaware of their own failure. It's that out-of-sync confidence that drives us absolutely nuts. So, why does this happen? The first reason is also the most human one. You cringe because you are a person with good empathy. Deep inside our brains, we have a fascinating system called mirror neurons. These are special brain cells. When you see me pick up this apple, the neurons in your brain fire as if you were picking up the apple yourself. When you watch someone get pricked by a needle, your brain registers a flicker of that same pain. This system is the biological foundation of empathy. It's what allows us to understand, connect with, and feel for other people. But it has a side effect. When you see that poor contestant singing terribly while being stared at by an entire silent room, your mirror neuron system kicks into overdrive. Your brain is essentially running a simulation. What if that were me? And that feeling of social pain is very, very real. Your brain is feeling the humiliation, the judgment, the confusion, all the things that you assume the person on stage should be feeling. You aren't just seeing them fail. On a neural level, you are feeling their failure as if it were your own. You cringe because you're a human, not a robot. You're capable of feeling others' pain, even when it's social pain. Okay, so we're empathetic. That makes sense. But why do we only cringe at certain things, and not everything? Why does overconfident bad singing hit harder than, say, tripping on the sidewalk? This brings us to reason number 2. You cringe because you are secretly the social norms police. Humans are social creatures, through and through. For our society to run smoothly, we have thousands of unwritten social rules, or norms. Things like, don't talk too loudly in a quiet library. Don't tell inappropriate jokes at a somber event. Wait your turn in line. And a big one, do you want to be overconfident when you clearly lack the skill to back it up? These rules are the invisible glue holding our social world together. When that contestant sings horribly but acts like they're Beyoncé, they are violating a serious unwritten social rule. They are disrupting the social order. That cringe feeling you get is an alarm bell going off in your brain. It's a high-level social emotion that's practically screaming, "Warning, social norm violation in progress. This is not okay." The system is threatened. You feel uncomfortable because your sense of social balance is being shaken by what your brain perceives as unacceptable behavior. That's why cringe is often mixed with a little bit of annoyance or even anger. You think, how could they do that? Don't they know the rules? Now, this next reason is perhaps a little more, let's say, selfish, but it is incredibly real. It's the fear of social contagion. Have you ever noticed? The cringe feeling gets about 10 times stronger if the person doing the embarrassing thing is your friend, your colleague, or worse, your family member. Imagine you're out at a restaurant, and your uncle starts telling a loud, really questionable joke to the waiter. Every other table turns to look at your table. In that moment, you don't just cringe. You want the floor to open up and swallow you whole. You want to become invisible? Why is it so much worse? Because we're fundamentally taught that we are judged by the company we keep. When someone from our group does something embarrassing, we have a deep unconscious fear that others will assume we are the same, that their cringy behavior reflects on us. That physical act of cringing, of looking away, of putting your head in your hands, is actually a self-defense reflex. It is a nonverbal signal you're sending to everyone else in the room. I am not with them. I am not like them. Please don't associate me with this. You cringe because you're desperately trying to protect your own social reputation from the fallout. This leads to the final, and maybe most interesting question. Why are we in absolute agony, while the person actually causing the cringe fest seems so blissfully unaware? Well, there are two main possibilities. The first possibility is a positive one. Maybe they are just genuinely, unshakably confident. They have truly overcome the fear of judgment. They're living their truth. They're happy, and they simply don't care what our social rules are. They are free. And if that's the case, maybe the cringe is our problem, not theirs. Maybe we're the ones who are too rigid and too worried about what others think. But then there's the second, more negative possibility. They might simply lack self-awareness. This is related to the famous psychological concept called the Dunning-Kruger effect. This is a cognitive bias where people with low ability in a certain area lack the skills needed to even recognize their own incompetence. They genuinely, truly believe they are brilliant. They live inside a protective bubble of delusion. And our most intense cringe comes from seeing that huge gap. The gap between the harsh reality that we can all see and the beautiful delusion that they are living in. We cringe because we are witnessing an impending collision. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. It's horrible, but you can't look away. So, the next time you feel that full-body cringe wash over you, don't be so quick to think you're just a mean or a judgmental person. Remember, cringe is an incredibly complex social emotion. It's proof that you have empathy. You can feel what others might be feeling. It's proof that you have social intelligence, you understand the unwritten rules of society. And it's a powerful self-defense instinct. You're trying to protect your own social standing. Feeling cringe doesn't mean you're weak or a bad person. It just means you're human, a perfectly normal, social human, trying your best to navigate a world full of complicated rules and even more complicated people. So now I want to hear from you. What's the most memorable cringe experience you've ever witnessed, or maybe even lived through? And thinking about these reasons, which one do you think explains it? Share your stories in the comments below, but please, let's keep it anonymous and be kind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully, it'll be a little less cringe-inducing. Bye.